Talk to spirits as soon as we will be together. Hi everyone, this is Raphael, the world's medium, and tonight we are talking to spirits. So to talk to spirits, it's very simple. All you need to do is to subscribe to my channel. It's very simple. There is a link just above. You click on it and then we end up all together. And you can ask me questions about different spirits that you would like to reconnect with. Did you lose someone recently? Or maybe a long time ago and you want to know more about them? So you are very welcome to type in your question, type in the name of the person you would like to reconnect, and then I will tell you if I feel something about them. I have been a medium since I was born, basically, so it's been quite a long time, I have to say. And people sometimes ask me how I was able to realize that I have this gift. So first of all, you know, I think everyone can reconnect with different spirits. And the best way actually is during your dreams when you are asleep. People think that everything that happens in the dreams is fiction. It's like something like a fiction, but in fact, it's wrong to think that. Let me just see what's happening there. Basically, what happens in your dream, the dream is like a gateway in which you can connect with different spirits, different elements, different lives. And I find that, and I would say that dreams are really the most important thing. And probably the thing that really is what happens in your dreams is more real than what happens outside of your dreams. So I think it's a very interesting factor to take into consideration. I can see that Kristen is here, even though I'm late. Thank you, Kristen, for joining. It might be, the following might be a little bit modest tonight, but I'm totally fine with it. And I'm very excited to be back. I haven't been here for 2 weeks. Because I was extremely busy, had so many meetings, so many people contacting me. And so that's the reason why I just could not do it for the past 2 Mondays. Oh, I can see that Bo is here as well, which is great. So thank you for being here. Sorry for the little delay. I've been really working a lot. And even to that time, I'm late 10 minutes because I was fixing something on my YouTube. And so yes, working a lot, lots of readings. So it's great. I can feel that 2021 is definitely like a year that will be busy for me. And I'm sure for all of you as well. It's definitely a new year. And so now we are changing the system. What I was doing before is I used to tell people to join me into a Zoom meeting. And because we had a lot of problems with hackers and people playing music and destroying everything, I decided to focus more on YouTube. So this is now the new space where we can really connect all together and communicate with spirits. So it's going to be on YouTube. At least we know it's here every Monday at 6 o'clock p.m. LA time and 9 p.m. New York time. You know that whenever you want to connect with a spirit, if something happened in a dream, if your house is haunted, or if maybe you know someone who feels like, you know, they came across to a spirit, you know where to tell them to come. This is the place where they can join. It's very easy. It's free. All you need to do is to subscribe to my channel. That's a requirement. And then you can type in your question. You can type the name of the person you would like to reconnect with. The other thing you can do as well, if you have any question about the supernatural world, because that's my field of expertise. I have been connecting with spirits and strange things since I was born, I have to say. And I'm going to tell you a little bit how the whole thing started. So, you know, when you are a psychic and a medium, the first question people ask you is like, when did you know that you were a psychic and a medium? When did that happen? What actually happened? And how did it materialize? Because anybody can say, okay, I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, and this and that. So there is a beginning, you know, for everything. When you have this kind of supernatural talent, it does happen one day. There's a moment when you think, okay, something is not quite right. And I need to know more about it, because why is this happening? And for me, the most important thing that happened to me, I would say, is, and Kristen and Bo probably know the story already because I told them and I said it quite a few times, but it's important to see an example, if I would say. So basically, I was born in a family that used to have a bank. And we have a beach house in France, which is in the north of France, close to, in Le Touquet, a city where the President Macron has a house there. Who cares? But anyway, just so people can know, it's very close to England. It's on the other side of the ocean, of the sea. And we used to go there all the time. When I was a child, I would go there for vacation, for Christmas. We would go for summer. It was like a family home where we would always go. But what happened, I always felt like it was haunted. I always heard noises and it always felt strange. I didn't like that house, actually. We had two houses. We had this one, and then my great aunt had another little house next to it. And so I would rather go to a small little house next to it that felt safer to me than to go to the big house. But anyway, I would sometimes have to go to the big house. So I would go to the big house. And what happened on my 24th birthday, basically what happened is, first of all, we had this staircase in the house that would always feel really cold. And everyone fell down in this staircase. The dog, the baby, the aunt, the sister, everyone fell in this stupid staircase that was feeling really cold. I never did, thanks God. But I guess it could have happened. But anyway, there would not be anyone that did not fall in this staircase. And what happened on my 24th birthday, I was in that house with my best friend. And during the night, I was walking by the stairs, and I saw this green, kind of weird, very cold person, entity that looked very nasty, very angry. It looked like this person had drowned in the water, and it was she was not happy. That person was really not happy at all. That person was really, really upset. And so I felt immediately that there was something really wrong. And I felt a connection with all these people falling the stairs. And I felt this is not right. And for a second, I thought it was an ancestor of ours, the person that bought the house. But later on, and much later in my life, I realized that this ghost was actually the ghost of the person that was the original owner of the house. But my family had this bank, and he could not pay back the mortgage or something like that. And so they took the home from him. And all that time he had been upset in the house, haunting the house, being very upset, not being able to go on the other side or do anything. And the consequences to him being locked in the house was for me to travel always and to never feel home. No matter where I would go, I would, live in France, I would be in England, I would be in America, I would be in Spain, I would be in Qatar, I would be anywhere in the world. Everywhere felt home. And at the same time, it felt not home. So I never really felt home anywhere. So I almost felt like a gypsy, I would say, and in fact, I'm a medium and a psychic, so it could seem as if it fitted, but sometimes it was really strange to always go anywhere in the house, and it felt anywhere in the world, and it never felt home, but it always felt home at the same time, just like a homeless kind of thing. And the ancestor who owned the bank had the same name as I. He was named Raphael as well. Actually, I was named like him. He's the one who took the house from this entity. So what happened is, like, kind of recently, a few years ago, I was in Austria and I spoke to my mentor and I said, I never feel home. This is just, I can't do that anymore. I lived in about 80 or 90 different apartments around the world, or houses, sometimes beautiful, sometimes not, sometimes all kind of places, everywhere. That's why I call myself the world's medium as well, because I have in fact been all over and I lived everywhere. So now I'm in Mexico, by the way. And so I had this conversation, and she said, you need to do a ritual and talk to that spirit, actually, and see what you can do for them. Apologize in the name of the family, which is something I did. And ever since, for some reason, I feel more home, and haven't moved for like quite a long time now. And maybe it's because of the COVID as well. But I do feel a sense of home since I had this conversation with the ghost. And I think he's at peace, he's on the other side, and he's much better where he is. So that was a ghost. And I wanted to tell you as well, there's something else we need, it's good to talk about, is that what happens when we die. So there's an experience I had when I was 20. I was very tired, coming back from work. Back then, I would, work in the day. I was 20, and then at night I would go clubbing. I lived in Paris back then. So I was very tired at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock when I was coming back from work. I was just exhausted, but still I had to get ready to go out clubbing, and that was every night. And so my friend came over at my place and said, I'm going to do some Reiki session for you, and then you're going to feel better and you will not be tired tomorrow. So we did. He sat facing me. Basically, we faced each other. We closed our eyes and we're sitting on the carpet in my bedroom. And then we hold each other's hands, and we closed our eyes, and we felt as we were elevating ourselves, like going to another dimension. That actually looks like the background, if I could say. I changed the background this week. I think it's just more. So it looked like this kind of, we felt like we were in the middle of the universe. And like in the sky, basically, it was dark, but we'd like elevate. We would feel the same and see exactly the same, both of us. So we'd go. And then in the end, we found ourselves in this kind of cone, like a cone shaped, the top of the universe. That's how I like to call it. I don't know if it was the top of the universe, but it did look like that, like being at the top of something. It was very wide and long, and it was like a huge space. And in that space, there would be a little piece of crystal circulating and like kind of moving this circular movement. But you have to imagine something really wide, like, I don't know, 3,000 miles and then, I don't know, maybe 1,000 miles high. And so all these crystals were kind of going around. These crystals were life, actually. It was like life. So it was not just a crystal like this, but it would be like a very big kind of, maybe it was like this or something. And the color was like blue, red, yellow, all kind of colors. And these crystals were actually souls. And they were communicating with each other, and it was a very nice kind of environment. It was really beautiful. And that's where I feel we go when we die. And even when we're alive, I feel we all have a little piece of crystal in there, which is our soul. And the soul is always there when we're alive or not. This is home for us, kind of, it's kind of home, if I may say. And so basically I made a drawing of it because it was such an amazing time and very, very interesting moment of my life. And when I came down, we were comparing what we saw with my friend, and we saw exactly the same. And it was actually the most beautiful moment of my life to that day. I've never seen something as beautiful and as incredible as that when I was 20. So I feel that when we die, that's where we go. And when we're alive, we still have this piece of crystal that stays there and that never moves. It's always in there with all the other pieces of crystal. And then we go back, and then we get reincarnated, and then we go back. And that's the reason why I can connect with spirits of people who are alive or people who are dead as well. It doesn't really matter, dead or alive, that piece of crystal is still there anyway. And so that's how you can actually, maybe that's also how psychic work, when I use my tarot and I predict the future for someone, maybe, and that's what I'm thinking. I don't always like to overanalyze everything, and I never have a scientific approach to anything because I don't like it. But if you wanted to have a scientific approach to it, I think I'm connecting to that crystal whenever I ask a question about someone. That's what I do. So whether the person is dead or alive, it doesn't really matter, because that's who I'm talking to, that crystal thing that's out there. And what can happen as well, when you die, you can get stuck somewhere. And that was the case of this ghost in the family house in France that was very unhappy and very upset. If something really major happened in your life and made you really upset, such as it could be suicide, it could be somebody shooting you somewhere, or getting killed in a war, or something like that. I'm not saying everyone who did suicide or got killed in a war ended up as a ghost, but it can happen, and then because it's so sudden, it's kind of an accident if you think about it, an accident of the soul. So you can get stuck somewhere, and that's not good, because there's no sense of time, space. You can stay there forever, and you can see other ghosts and other people, but you're kind of stuck. It's not a great place. It's like being stuck in 2 dimensions, basically. That's what a ghost is. It doesn't feel good. It's not great. You need to kind of like shift on the other side at some point. So that's what I was trying to do with that ghost, and the way for you to shift on the other side, to kind of go back to this crystal world, is by leaving, getting rid of everything that's attached you to Earth. Because when you're on the other side, you're not on Earth. You can't do both. You can't just, when you die, you have to disconnect yourself from this physical life and from Earth. But if you're not ready and if you don't want to, you might just stay here, and it doesn't feel good. So that's what happened to the ghost. And for other people, what happened when they die, they just go back on the other side, and they might stay there for 1,000 years, 100 years, 10 years, 5 years. Doesn't really matter, because time doesn't matter there. You don't have a body. You don't care about aging or anything. And then you can reincarnate somewhere. And that spirit thing that stays in this other side is always there and accumulates the information that you've taken through your life with you. And also the connection you have with other souls and other crystals that are in there remains, whether you're alive or not. And I think that explains as well how sometimes in this life you connect with people, you feel like you've known them forever. Maybe you have known them before, and maybe up there they know, and so that's how they connect you. So I wanted to tell you that. So now you know a little bit what it is. I remind you who I am. I am Raphael, the world's medium. If you see that video on Facebook, you can join me on YouTube. There's a link. You just click on it and then you can type in your question on YouTube. I focus on YouTube because we've been really hacked everywhere on Zoom, on Facebook, and like there's always some really dodgy psychic stores and places like that start to chat up the people who leave messages. And I'm absolutely not affiliated with anyone. It's just me in there. So YouTube, we don't have that program on YouTube. So I think it's really great if you connect on YouTube. Anyway, I can see a lot of people on YouTube, which is cool. So then I can see the first person who's asking a question, who's mentioning a name. So Bo is asking something. Okay, Bo is asking, I would like to connect with the spirit of this house I live in now and hear if and what it will help, and if what it will help me to keep the house in the family. I would like to live there until I find my next better place. So sometimes the house has a spirit, you know, and there's a spirit in the house. And actually the spirit sometimes can be connected to the land on which the house is built. It doesn't have to be a ghost or a spirit in the house. But in that one case, actually, I've been talking to Bo quite a few times about this house, and the house, it's about this house that she lives in, and she basically doesn't really want to sell it. And I was telling her that this house doesn't really want, doesn't really want her to, the house doesn't want to be sold, basically. The house wants to stay the way it is. That's what I felt in terms of the spirit. So now what we can do, what I'm going to try to do, I have my notebook here, I have my pen, and then I'm going to see a little bit, yes, Bo is saying the land under the house. Let's see like kind of the energy surrounding the house itself. And let's see what they want to tell her. You know, they could be a message for her, and let me focus on that and see what this land or this place wants to tell her, and if there is a message from her. So I just need to concentrate a little bit on that, and I'm going to see what's insight, what information I'm getting in regard with that land and with that house, and if there's an advice that feels that needs to be passed on to you, Bo. So let me see a little bit what I'm feeling with there. Okay, so I'm drawing things. I can't show you everything I'm doing, but I'm kind of like focusing on it and see what she wants to tell you. So let me just see. Okay, I see children. There's something about children around this house, you know. So there's something about children around there. The house, it's very good when there are children on that house. She likes it. They like it. You know, the spirit in there really likes children and family. It's very important that there are little children in there. So I don't know if you ever host children in there, if you have like children of friends or children of other people in your family, but that house really likes children and family. You know, it's a house that likes to be really, that likes a family to be united. It would be good to host a, how do you call that? A family kind of dinner, lunch, family reunion in this house. You know, the house would like that. The spirit of that house would always be in favor of people that want to be as part of a family, stay together, you know, because this is a unifying kind of house. And in fact, what is happening right now is, you know, your husband wanting to sell the house, because I know that because we talked about it. Basically, the house wants you to be united all together. You know, that's what this house was made for. So the best way for you to stay in there is to actually connect with all the other members of the family and maybe do a dinner or do something in there, and that would be very good. You know, they want to see you all together. So yeah, that's what I'm sensing from the children, family. You need to put everyone together. So you could organize a dinner, a meetup, inviting people. That's what I'm feeling from there. It's a house that wants family to be together. It's a house that was designed for the families to be together. I don't know if that speaks to you, but it does feel that way. And yeah, it feels that way for you. So uniting the family in there, that's how you could keep the house for a longer time. So you should, if you can, you should organize a celebration of like all the people, you know, meeting all together in this house of your family, and you should organize something like that. So look into it, and that's how you please the spirit of that land and the spirit of this house. And that's what you need to do. So, you know, that's what I'm sensing. That's organizing celebrations, friends, anything you can do there birthday parties, you know, that's what you need to do at this point. It will bring good things. So you're saying, not yet, I would love it. I love my family together here. I would love to connect with the family, but my mom-in-law is in a wheelchair and cannot come up to the second floor. But can you do it downstairs? You know, the nice days are coming. Right now it's March, you know, spring is around the corner. It can even be in the garden, but that's what you need to do. You need to put everyone together. So you should plan something, you know, that would please the spirit. It feels very much, yeah. So try to bring her, try to bring her there, find a way, you know, and do something on the ground floor or something. Find out that, you know, sometimes you can adjust things, you know, even if it's like you can find ways. You need to get her there and organize a big celebration all together. That's what I'm sensing. The house will be happy about that. And if there's children, it's even better. Any children in there is bringing, is making the house, this home is happy about it. And I was going to say, if your birthday is coming very soon, organize an event. It sounds great. And also what I want to say is, because the Mercury planet is not retrograde anymore, thanks God, because it was crap, sorry for the word. But the 3 weeks of February with this Mercury retrograde was really, really strange. All the information would go funny and it was really not great. But now is a very good time to organize that. So both, that's what I recommend you to do at this point. So I hope you will follow my advice and you will please the spirit of the house. You know, it's very important when you move into a house or you have a house, it's very important to make the spirit of the house happy, because what we don't know, what we forget, is that we are surrounded by spirits. There's a lot of spirits around you. There's millions of spirits around us. And of course, people say, I believe, I don't believe, whatever. Whether you believe or not, there's a million spirits around you all the time. And these people in the crystals in there that I was, you know, describing before, they're all around you, you know, all the time. And they talk to each other. So whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. They're here anyway. So you don't have to believe in it for them to be here. And when you move into a home, you're bringing your spirits with you. And then maybe if you sell that home, your spirits will still stay in there. And then some other people will buy the house. And then your spirits are going to talk to the spirits who are buying the new house. And then, you know, maybe they're not happy. Maybe your spirit, your own spirit, was happy to be with you in your home. And now that you're moving somewhere else, and let's say that your spirit doesn't like, I don't know, like too much heat, for instance, you know, some spirit, maybe they hate the sun, they don't want too much heat. And then you're moving somewhere else, they will be really upset. They will do anything for you to go back. And another factor to take in consideration as well is that we have our own spirit, as I said, you know, we're here, but there's a spirit that we have in this other side, you know, as I said, in the universe. But also we have spirits that accompany us, you know, everywhere we go. And I just give you an example of me. I have this, actually, I think she's going to be happy, that spirit. There's this woman, this blonde woman who's next to me, that every medium I talk to, they can see that woman that I call Christiane, and who used to be a psychic, and she's around me all the time. And Christiane likes different fragrance and perfume. So I always put perfume, and, you know, when I'm working, and she was a psychic. So there's this blonde woman who's next to me, if you can see her. But I think she's behind right now, so she's hiding behind me. And then there's a man, I don't know his name, but he's a pirate. And that's a bit of a rough kind of person, and he protects me against problems or people trying to, you know, do bad things to me. And so I've got the pirate and the psychic next to me. So we all have these kind of spirits, and they can talk to other people's spirits and create this kind of interaction. So what I'm trying to say about this house, yes, the spirits in the house want to keep you there, Bob. So to organize a celebration would be really great, and please that spirit and facilitate for you to stay there as long as you can, and maybe for good, you know, for a long time. So then there's Carl. Hi, Carl. How are you doing? So welcome here. And so I remember we did a medium reading a while ago when actually in Puerto Vallarta, and we did talk already to your mom. I remember, Carol. So that was in 2016, I think, that you came here. And so you're telling me she passed going on 6 years. I feel her around me. Is it her? Okay, so let me see. So I'm going to take my notebook and my pen and see what I'm feeling around her. Okay, so let me write her name. I see something very soothing about her. You know, I'm feeling something very soothing, and with the color pink. And in fact, there's something, you know, I have to say, Carl, you asked me about your mattress the other day on this other show. You said, do you have the right mattress? There is a connection with her about it. You know, I see a color pink, and I feel that she wants you to be very comfortable in bed, because you being on the right mattress is like when you were a child and you were, she was always making sure, I don't know, you were in a comfortable bed or something. But obviously, I mean, every mother would be very careful to have a comfortable bed for their children, but still it was very important for her that the bed is very like a nest, like a cocoon. And I think there is a connection with the mattress, so she really approves with you right now to look for the right mattress. That's what I'm sensing. She really wants you to be like to feel very comfortable. And there's something about the smell as well. I feel like a smell of flower or sweet, or, you know, like a sweet smell as well that could help you to sleep. The smell of rose, you know, spraying a little bit of essential oil of rose, or there's a smell like that would be very good for you, facilitate your sleep. That's what she's saying. She really worries about you sleeping well. So it's very connected to what you told me last time about the mattress that you were looking for. And I can hear her, I can feel her talking to you in your ears, you know, very close, you know, like very, very close, like almost like singing these songs when you were a child, and you were singing little, I forgot how it's called, is it called lullabies? I'm not sure, I don't think it's called that way, but you know, little songs for the children. So I can hear her like that, kind of singing, talking to your ear and telling you things. And I see something very soft, very soothing, you know, very, very soothing, very soft, very sweet person, and extremely soft, a very, very soft woman, very kind, very gentle, always very empath, you know. I think she was very much an empath. If somebody feels that way, feels something, she would feel the same as well. She was very close to other people, very human, you know, like some people are that way. They really care about other humans. She was that way. Yes, she's around. I feel she's definitely around you, and she's here to make your anxiety level lower. I feel that from her. She's like, I'm here to help you, make you more peaceful about your anxieties. She can see that you're anxious, so but she's around. She's saying that yeah, you are kind of protected. You're around her. She's around her. You're protected. Don't worry. You know, it's okay if you feel like a child. If you feel like you are still a little child, it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, you can still feel that way because she's around and she understands you. She understands you as a child. Because she knew you as a child and she still understands you. So it's not because she's not here that you cannot be a child. You have the right to be that way. And the connection is still there between her and you. That's what I'm sensing. The message from her, you know, is very much about being very soft on yourself. Be very kind to yourself. Be very gentle. If you need to sleep, you need to relax, you need to lay down, do it, you know, do it as much as you can. It's very important to feel like in a cocoon like that. That's a very, very important thing for you, to get a lot of rest and to, you know, relax. And it's okay to do that. And yeah, and to feel like a little child. It's totally okay to be that way, and to remember, you know, what used to make you peaceful when you were a child, you know, the place where you lay down, the sound, the smell. I see the smell of this fragrance. I can see, I can feel, I can smell actually. A very soft, sweet fragrance of, you know, violet flowers, a little violet flowers or rose. It's a little bit sweet as well. It's kind of a very sweet smell, very sweet person, very soft, very soothing. So she's around, she's really looking after you. That's what I'm sensing. She's around you, and especially when you're comfortable, when you're laying down, you know, she's looking after you. That's what I'm feeling from you. Okay, so I don't know if you're still there. I'm sure you must be somewhere. Okay, so now I'm going to, you, by the way, feel free typing in more comments as well, because anyway, we're together. We are exploring, you know, spirits. You can ask more questions, or it's not just one question. You can, you know, we're here to have a conversation. So you're really, really very happy if you interact with me. You can type more message, you can say things, you can ask me questions. You know, let's make it like a an interesting, vibrant space to talk about spirits. So it's a bit different from this other show where we ask questions to the tarot. This is more like a conversation conversation we're having together. So feel free typing in questions about other things, or you're absolutely welcome. So then we have Kristen, who's asking, my grandfather John came up a few weeks ago. There was something behind a fence. Can we look into it and find out a bit more about what happened, and if there is a message? Yes, a few weeks ago we talked about Kristen's grandfather called John, and then there was a fence, and I remember behind the fence there were things that were not good happening. And what I felt is that maybe something like abortion, that's the message that came to my mind. Maybe some people got aborted on the table. I really felt like there was, it was not very, very nice, what I saw behind the fence. But I feel that it's a place where somebody got an abortion in this place on the table. But I feel that maybe, I don't know if it only happened once. It could have happened more than once, It was not very nice, and I feel that it's a secret that nobody knows and that nobody could tell. And why is that? Well, first of all, I don't think it was really legal back then to do abortion like that on a table behind the fence. And let me see what I'm feeling from that. It feels as if, yeah, the person was too young. Basically, the person was too young to have a child, and they needed to get rid of it. That's what it felt like. We need to get rid of it. Yeah, and it was a very young girl who was maybe, I don't know, 15, 16, or very, very young, a young person. And if I think about it, why happened? She was almost like underage, like not like really, really young, maybe 14 or something, really, really young, and almost a child. So she was definitely not an adult, that woman. And I don't know where the baby came from, by the way. If there had been a, let me just see, if that girl, I have to say, she could have been raped or something like that, which is not really fancy right now to discuss that, but she could have been raped or something, because she was too young, that girl, she was really too young, and I don't know who did that to her, but it was an older man. That's what I'm feeling, someone definitely older than her. And yeah, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I feel happened behind the fence, That's what Kristen say. Yes, the Aunt Lily. Yes. So that's what it feels. Absolutely, yes. So I feel that's all I would say. There was an abortion in there of a person that got a child of older man who came from outside the family. It's not someone in the family, but it was maybe someone even that went to the church or something. I see an older kind of a bit fat, man, yeah, that was not very nice to her. Or it could have been a worker or someone, I don't know, but it was kind of not great what happened. Yeah, I feel that she's likely to have been attacked. Yes, that's what I'm sensing. And that's what happened. That's why she needed to abort. Yeah, that's how it feels. That's what happened in there. So I hope I was able to respond to your question, Kristen, but that's what I'm sensing. That's what I'm feeling, yes. Carl is asking if your mother has a message for you. I think really the message for you, from Carol was very much to be very gentle on yourself. It was very much about that. Be gentle on yourself. It's okay to feel like a child. If sometimes you feel like it's very difficult to face things and to actually be an adult and stand up, like an adult, because being an adult is different from being a child. Anyway, we all know that. It's like you have to, you always have to be strong, and it feels that it's okay if you don't always feel 100% strong. You have the right to behave like a child, because you once were a child, and with her you can be that way, and she's encouraging you to be that way, to be like to let the little child in you express itself, and to not force yourself to be strong. Sometimes you have the right to be a child, and she's totally okay with that, and she supports you in that. And if there's a decision you have to take right now about that requires you to really stand up and be the man, the adult, well, if you don't feel like taking it right now, don't. The answer is that, now is more like a time for rest for you. It feels like it's a time for you to recuperate, to rest, to lay down, to be like a little baby, it feels that way. So the message from her is that she allows you to be that way, and take the liberty to do that. She wants you to take the liberty to be that way, to really relax and be a child. You can allow yourself to have more, to be a little more that way at this very moment. That's what I'm feeling from Carol. Then we have Sue, who's saying bonne nuit. And so I have been seeing shadows and sensing a spirit present in the house I moved into recently. Can we connect with the spirit and see if it has a message for me? Thank you. So let me see, Sue, what I see from this house, what is happening in that place. Okay, so I see a spirit that would always be very, I don't know, I feel it's very much in the night. It's always in the night. It doesn't happen in the day, that spirit, and it's always in the night. I see someone a little bit skinny, I don't know, quite skinny with a weird nose. Kind of quite skinny with a weird nose, who's kind of in there. And someone who's very curious, who's observing everything. It was someone who liked to be gossiping and, you know, and very, very curious about things and liking to spy on people. So he's kind of watching things. It's someone who's very curious, who always wants to know everything, but also can know things. You know, it's someone that can bring message as well. If there's something that you, if there's something that you're guessing at the moment, you're not sure, that person, that spirit can bring you the information. So if you have doubts about something, about a deal, or about, you know, something that you are not sure, you feel like somebody was kind of ripping. I feel it's a man. It's definitely a man. Yes, it's a man that I can see. That person can observe everywhere for you. If you need an information or something that's missing into something, I feel that this man can have the information because he likes spying on everyone. He likes to just go places, open the window. He's all over. He's always like watching. I can see him, you know, looking interesting. It could be the doctor. I don't know if he's dead, but I guess maybe he's not. But there is this spirit, yeah, who likes to observe everything and look behind the window. And he's always looking. Yeah, he's always looking. He's observing everything that's happening, listening to everything. And I wonder what this person could have been, some kind of, I don't know, some kind of secret agent, or, you know, that was his job, to kind of observe and watch and spy. And but he looks a bit strange. He looks a bit like, it's going to be funny what I'm going to say, but I don't know how this cartoon is called in English, but you will understand what I'm talking about. There's a cartoon with a dog who's always laughing. A dog is always laughing, and they're always flying in these planes. Do you know what I'm talking about? The dog, I think, is called Diabolo. In French, it's Diabolo and Satanas, but I don't know how it's called in English. But all these flying things, and there is this dog. The dog was always laughing, like always laughing. It's something from the 70s or the 80s. And then there is this man, and they're flying together, and these planes everywhere, and they keep laughing, and they keep doing nasty things to people. And anyway, let me see what the name is. I just want to, I'm going to tell you what it is, by the way, because this man looks a little bit like this cartoon. He's not a threat to you at all. Absolutely not. He's really not. Let me just Google that series, because I want to, it's Satanas and Diabolo, but I'm sure in English it's a different name. Let me see. If I can, yeah, it's Dastardly and Muttley in their flying machine. It's a show from the 70s. Do you know what I'm talking about? Dastardly and Muttley in their flying machine. These are the people. I don't know if you're going to see, but you know what I'm talking about. Yes, the man on the side. Yeah, he's a little bit like that. A little bit like that. He's got this kind of face. He's not a threat, but he's very curious and likes to spy on things and watch things and listen to things and conversations. So I feel that it's a very sneaky kind of spirit, but it's not bad. He just likes to watch, observe, listen. He's listening to everything. Once again, if you have a doubt, or if there are numbers missing somewhere, you're not sure about something, you know, about some numbers, some paper, or somebody said something to you and you think they're lying, I feel that that one spirit can help you with that. What does he like? That's a good question. Let me see what he wants. I feel that somebody took something of him, and he wanted it back. Things got stolen of him, and he wanted it back. So he's upset about it because things were stolen from him. So he's very upset about it. He's always looking for something, always looking everywhere. And that's a long time ago, maybe in the 50s or something like that, you know. It could be like this kind of post-war, a long time ago. And he's always looking everywhere. Yeah, looking for files and things and paper. And Yes, he's always sneaking around. Yeah, he's very much connected to office, to the office, the desk, the computer where you have all your papers, and he's always in there. Yeah, he's always looking for something that's missing, but he's not a threat. He would like to find what he lost. And I think he lost, he doesn't know where he comes from, where he was born. He was, I feel that he was maybe abandoned or something. He doesn't know his parents, and he didn't know where he came from. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling about that, He feels that way. He doesn't know where he comes from, where he belongs, where he was born as a person. He didn't really know where he came from. So he's been searching a long time about his origins, where he came from, and was very much about that. And he kept the habit of looking everywhere, like looking into paper, reading behind you, reading behind you. And I feel that it can be good if you're searching, looking for something, but it's not about spirit. Like if something's missing, or you're losing something, or you didn't find your wallet, or I feel that this spirit can help you with that. He's good at searching, looking, finding. Yes, he's like that. And you say interesting because, as you talked about, I also never felt really at home where I live. Yes, yeah, I understand. Yeah, we had this conversation, of course, yes, about finding the right home, finding the right place. There might be something about your story, Sue, as well, about the spirit, maybe, that doesn't make you feel home. That's another story. It's very possible that, with maybe family history, or sometimes, it can happen to us that the past lives, or where we come from, makes it challenging for us to belong and to find the right place for us. And by the way, let me remind you, my name is Raphael. I am the world's medium, and I have been a psychic and medium for the past 30 years, and I communicate with spirits. And what we're doing tonight, the conversation we're having, is we're trying to explore different spirits. What are spirits? What do they want to tell us? Why is this happening? Do they exist really? Where are they? What do they want? That's what we were just talking with Sue. She moved into a new home, and she feels like there was kind of a spirit that was in there, and it appears at night. And by connecting with him, I felt like this man who had a strange nose, quite skinny, and who is always looking everywhere, searching, looking behind the window, behind the curtain. And maybe that spirit can help her to find things that she could have lost. Because spirits can help us. We have to talk to them, and sometimes they can do things for us. They can help us. It's very important we are aware of them, because they have some kind of life, and they like to be remembered as well. They like to be talked to. And yes, and so this one that is in the house where you are in definitely wants to know more about everything. He's just so curious and wants to know, observe everything, and yeah, he knows things that you don't know. That's what I'm sensing. So you can type in more questions if you have any question. You can, of course, share the link to this show, this YouTube. You can, of course, you are very encouraged to subscribe to my channel. And if you have a person who would like to reconnect with a spirit that they've lost, a person that they have lost a few years ago or recently, or they want to know more about spirits, you can encourage them to join us here. It's every Monday, Talk to Spirit. It's 6 p.m. LA time, 9 p.m. New York time. There's also another show called Devoured Life. I've changed the name. It used to be called Devoured Life, but I called it now Devoured Life. It's every every Friday at 6 p.m. LA time, 9 p.m. New York time. And in the Devoured Life, you could ask a question, type in your question about work, love, money, everything that is happening in your life. But right now, we are still in the Talk to Spirits, and you can type in your question about, type in the name of the person you would like to reconnect, and you can also ask questions about spirits that surround you. We can have a conversation about what happens after the life, before the life, and why is everything, how does it work, basically. So Bo is saying, great week to you, Raphael, thank you. Great week to you, Bo. This show is going to be soon in the end. But it was great to have you with me. I wasn't there for the past 2 weeks because I was extremely busy. So it was a pleasure for me to be with you tonight. And I will see you soon. Have a wonderful evening. And until then, take care and talk to spirits.